Hello there everybody, this is Gwyneth Isaac speaking here. Oh my gosh, California wildfires. I'm just having my cup of tea. So I thought I would make a video about the California wildfires while I'm having a little bit of a break. My gosh, wow. This was all planned. It was planned from a long time ago. And I'll tell you how I know that. See that tree in the background? That one? That's called a eucalyptus tree. Nobody on earth should be planting eucalyptus trees. I used to say nobody outside of Australia should be planting eucalyptus trees, but now I've expanded that no one on earth should be planting eucalyptus trees, because see that baby there? You know what you're looking at? God forbid. God forbid. That's a gigantic torch. The leaves are so full of eucalyptus oil. You can see the droplets under probably 10 times magnification, microscope magnification. No, it just, not even microscope, just jeweler's loupe magnification level. You can see the droplets of oil in the leaves of that tree. Nobody anywhere should be planting eucalyptus trees. I live in a eucalyptus forest, you know. They're all around me. Look at that. All around. I'm sure you can see it. 20 acres of it that I own. Outside of that 20 acres, there's over 10,000 acres of eucalyptus forest that's either owned by the government, Culprit State Park itself. The boundary is just probably about half a kilometre from my place as the crow flies. There's just another property or two, and then there's the state park, about maybe half a mile from here. That's absolutely nothing. That would, if a bushfire ever broke out in the Culprit State Forest and the wind was blowing towards me, I'd be gone. I would be out of here. You know, I have saddlebags, go bags, permanently packed. I would saddle Lily, and I would open the paddock gates and the chicken pens. Chickens would have to fend for themselves. The sheep would probably follow me. They follow me everywhere. The dogs, the cats, as best they could. There would be a train going down the road. You know, the Australia Day Parade. Please don't plant eucalyptus trees anywhere. They planted them all over California, all through the at least back as far as the 1980s, 1990s. And they stopped. They used to have fire lookouts in California. I don't think they have them anymore. And they stopped clearing the scrub. You know, They set it up from 30 and 40 years ago when I was at Melbourne University. This was a case study that we did on, forestry management. California. You've got to keep, that said, there's only one of me and there's 20 acres of this place. So I try and keep the scrub down, but it's kind of a losing battle. Sometimes it feels that way. That's all rough wattle. I don't know how flammable that is, but the dry stuff, I clear it out pretty quick. If I see a dry one, that it gets taken down to the house and gets turned into kindling and firewood. If I see an old dead dry wattle. But Chinese scrub. I've been told something really funny. Calling it Chinese scrub is racist. Oh, guess what? I don't care. I call it Chinese scrub, Chinaman bush. It's called Chinese scrub because when the Chinese gold miners were here, they used to harvest it and they used to use it to thatch their huts with, because that's what you do in China. The white people got the tip from the Aborigines that you don't do that. You don't do that for a good reason, because if one little tiny little spark gets into the thatch, it'll go up like you would not believe in seconds. It's the best kindling ever. I go and I harvest it and I use it for kindling. But the Chinese, they didn't care. They'd thatch their huts with it anyway. But the white people and the Aborigines, the miners in the early days of this part of the country, used to use bark slabs to make their huts and humpies. Humpy for Pete is an Aboriginal lean-to shelter. They didn't really build houses as such. They used to just build shelters, lean-to shelters. But the white people got the idea from the Aborigines and used to cut bark off the eucalyptus trees, which forms very, very nice slabs. Lay it flat, weigh it down so that it forms a flat slab. Leave a bit of bark on the tree, a strip of bark about that wide, running up the tree. It feeds the crown, and the bark will all grow back within about 10 years and do it all again. There's trees, all over the countryside that were used for harvesting bark slabs in the early days, but Chinese scrub, best kindling ever, worst fire brush you've ever seen in your whole life. Oh my gosh, it goes up in seconds, even when it's green. Even when it's been raining, all you need to do is, instead of using one lot of paper, maybe use 2 or 3 lots of paper underneath the handful of Chinaman bush. I use it for lighting my cooking fires and heating fires and all that sort of stuff. It's the best kindling I've ever seen. But the flip side of that is it burns. Actually, we'll go for a walkabout. I've got my cell phone. I'm filming from my tablet because my tablet's got more space on it. Oh, if I get, I'll show you. Here's a nature walk. Okay. Nature walk. I use Chinese scrub as thatch. I do. But I try not to have it lying too horizontal. I usually like to keep it lying fairly vertical. So I figure maybe it'll be a bit less chance of, although if it's an ember attack then, oops, maybe that's not going to help very much. That is pickets made of Chinese scrub around my vegetable garden. There's a brush fence. Oops. Made of Chinese scrub. That was a lot of work. Goes all the way up there as well. So I do use it for making brush fences and that, but I don't really like having it too horizontal. Here I have a trio of chickens penned up in a chicken tractor. Hello! Hello! Chinese scrub to provide some shade around the chicken tractor. If I run out of shade cloth, and on the top. Not all of my hens are free range. I'm working towards getting 100% free range, but they're happy. That rooster crows on a regular basis and, you know, comes and says hi and all the rest of it. But I'll show you some of it. This is rough wattle. So that you can see the understory of the rough wattle. There's quite a bit of leaf litter in there, you know. This is small Chinese scrub. Lily actually eats it. So we've had a paddock where there's been a horse grazing. Chinese scrub doesn't tend to grow so tall. The horse eats it, keeps it trimmed. But you can see there's really not, apart from the Chinese scrub, so I will have to pull it out. Replace it with prickly pears and Opuntia ficus and Dica and agave. Hello sheeps! Hello sheepies! Hello Lily! Come to say hi! Come to say hi, who's that? Who's that? That's Lily! I love you. Is that Lily? Oh, off you go then. This is where the sheep and Lily have been grazing for the last little while. You can see they've cleared out the undergrowth pretty well. Not much undergrowth there. I'll get this gate fixed. This builder gate and this proper gate, not a Coolgardie gate. And then get them moved into this paddock. Get that little bit of grass down. Get them eating, they eat the leaf litter. Get them eating the leaf litter. But this is, oh my gosh, fence. This is a fence. This is Chinese scrub. through much of the country here. Tens of thousands of acres. I'm gradually getting it cleared out of this place. But what do you replace it with? This is the thing. You know, it's a native shrub. It lives here. But if you remove it, you're also removing a section of the ecology. You can't just leave it there. You have to replace it with something. So that's why we do it bit by bit. I speak Scottish Gaelic. In Scottish Gaelic we would say Lehan piece in piece, which is translated little by little, piece by piece. That Chinese scrub. It forms thickets such as this. That would go up like a torch. If a tiny little ember got in there. Especially they do this. That, oh my God, that is actually really scary. Chinese scrub, oh my God, help us. This one little ember anywhere in there and the whole thing goes whoosh. I'm going to have to clear this out and turn it into a cactus circle. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This was all through here, Chinese scrub. I cleared it all. You can see there's regrowth. It'll have to be cleared out again and again and again and again. But the best thing is to clear it out and plant it with something else. One of the best things to replant Chinese scrub with is, oh boy, wow, wowie doodies, Opuntia ficus indica, the Indian fig cactus. Legal to grow here in Victoria. So you can cut it out in the comments section, people. It's an actual agricultural crop. And this has got a Gauhia americana as well. But wowie doodies, I didn't even realise how big that one had gotten. It's because it's actually sitting next to a stump. And because it's sitting next to a stump, it's getting a tiny fraction more water than the other ones. They were all planted along here, all the same size when they were planted all at the same time. This one, because it was planted next to the stump, got a bit more shelter, got a bit more water when it was younger, so it grew more. So there we go. That's what you replant Chinese scrub with. It provides food for the critters, more food actually than the Chinese scrub. And Chinese scrub has basically got nothing. It's only good for one thing, and that's for burning. More Chinese scrub. you extrapolate this out, tens of thousands of acres of it around in this local area. And agave americana, that is what you replace Chinese scrub with. Provides the shelter that is not there when you clear the Chinese scrub, but if you replace it with agave americana and Opuntia, ficus indica, agaves and prickly pears, horticultural. Oh, there's some firewood. We'll come back and get that later. If you do that, all of the little marsupials and critters still have a place to live. The difference is that's fire retardant. It doesn't burn. And it's on the boundary. That's the neighbour's place. I'll have to give them a heads up. You know, I'm on good terms with them. They're good people. I like prickly pears. I think the lady of the house is Egyptian Christian, Coptic, and her husband's a white Aussie, and they love prickly pears because the Egyptians absolutely adore prickly pears. They use it in their cuisine all the time. I said, go and help yourself. If you want to dig up, you know, little plants that come up on your side of the fence like that, go for it. I go over there sometimes and harvest them as well and transplant them elsewhere. But there we go. This is what my plan is to do. It's gradually getting done. Prickly pear circles. Prickly pear circles. With an understory of Carpobrotus, that's pig face, and Dyer's aloe. I think it's Dyer's aloe or South African aloe, to form a dryland tree forest. This thing in the middle was a Tegosasti. It didn't survive. When it rains again, it will get transplanted. Something else will get it in. This is what you've got to do. You've got to every one of these prickly pears, every one of these agaves, all of them were planted by me. They are used for food. The pads, the fruit, they're fire retardant. They're used for livestock fodder. They are really jolly good. I can't understand why, you know, in so many places it's just people hate them. Here in Australia, I don't know why. I have no idea why. They're just so beneficial. And they make the soil better. They improve the soil. They put sugars into the soil, which encourage bacteria and fungus to grow in the soil, which encourages earthworms when it does rain. The soil under prickly pear plants is also a little bit moister than the soil in other places. Means more grass grows under prickly pears than elsewhere. Other plants grow under prickly pears better than they do elsewhere because they get shade and they get that bit of extra moisture. Because a prickly pear plant funnels moisture down its trunk to the roots in there. So of course you're going to get more water, more shade. Anyway, I've had enough ranting. Oh my gosh. 25 minutes. If you want to do reforestation in an arid or semi-arid area, in closing, please do not plant eucalyptuses. Please, 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 please do not plant eucalyptuses. Instead, start with prickly pears, start with agaves, and then you can move on. Actually, before we go, I'll just quickly show you guys. This is European ash. European ash. Harvested from the wayside. Planted as a sucker last spring. Is settling in very, very nicely. Thank you very much. You can plant European ash here. Now look after it, water it. It's putting in a nice old root system. It'll do fine. It'll be as tall as one of these eucalyptuses within maybe 20 or 30 years. You can gradually replace the canopy of a eucalyptus forest. Not lose out at all. The cockatoos will probably love, oh gosh, whoops. The cockatoos will probably love ash trees more than they love eucalyptuses, because ash trees still develop hollows, but they also have seeds. Eucalyptus trees don't really have many edible seeds. They actually provide a better habitat for things like cockatoos and possums and all the other sorts of critters that live around here in the wild. So there we go. And oh yeah, Chinese elm. Whoops. And up. Chinese elm. Ulmus chinensis. And there we have a pampas. Chinese elm. It's getting watered from this downpipe. Doing very well. Anyway, we're almost at half an hour. This was going to be a 20-minute video, but that's how it runs sometimes. So I'll see you later.